Hey guys, so welcome back. In this video, we'll be trying to solve the problem 1921A, that is square on Codeforces. Okay, now the basic summary of this problem is that you will be given the coordinates of a square as follows. Now from the given coordinates, you should find out the area of the square. Okay, so now let's say our coordinates are like this. Say for example, we have 0, 8. Okay, let's say we have 4, 4. Then let's say we have 4, 8. And then let's say we have 0, 4. Okay, now if you try to draw these coordinates on the xy axis, let's see as to what we'll get. Now 0, 8 will be over here, right? And let's say 4, 4 will be over here. Then 4, 8 will be over here. And 0, 4 will be over here, right? So this will be our square formed. So now this will basically be our square formed, right? So how will you find out the area of the square? Now you have to find the length, right? So this 0, 8, we'll miss those using some other marker. Now this is 0, 8, right? This is a 4, 4. This is 4, 8. And this is 0, 4, right? So what you can do is do x2 minus x1, like I'm sure you all heard of that formula. x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. Like you have the formula, right? But there's one easier way. Now this is a square, right? So for a square, both of the sides are same. So all you have to do is find the length of one side. Okay, now what is the length of one side? So all these are our x coordinates and all these are our y coordinates, right? So in this case, I'll be considering only the x coordinates, because from the x coordinates itself, we can find the area of the square, right? Because x coordinates will give us the area of one particular side, with which we can find out the area of the entire square, right? Now here you can see the x coordinates are 0 and 4. Now if you take the absolute value of 0 and 4, your answer is 4, which means your area will be 4 into 4, which will be 16, right? So you can see that over here, the length of this side, 8 minus 8 is 0 and 4 minus 0 is 4. The length of this side is 4. The length of this side will also be 4. So now this is one easy way in which we can find out the area, right? Now we won't be taking any of this into consideration in the question. We'll be considering only the x coordinates because that's all we need. Okay, so we'll be storing 0 and 4, or like the two different x coordinates in two different variables. We'll be subtracting them and multiplying them. All right, like that is basically it. So now let's see as to how we can solve this problem. Okay, so let's start. Let's do include with /std c++.h, then using name space std. All right, now int main. Inside our main function, we'll have some variables. Let's call it int a. We'll set b and c as 0. Now b and c will be our two different x coordinates. Okay, they'll be 0. Now they'll be 0, and we can take two more variables, x and y, which will be used for inputting the variables. Now we'll input a, which will be our number of cases, right? And we can make a loop for that, a minus minus. Now inside of the loop, we have to accept our variables, right? I'll accept c in x and y, which will be our x and y variables. Now we only need the x variable as I mentioned earlier, right? So I'll set b equal to x. Then I'll again do c in of x and y, because we have four sets of coordinates, right? I'll set c equal to x. Now there is a possibility that both b and c are same now, right? Because over here, instead of like 0, 8, 4, 4, like he can also have 0, 8, 0, 4 first, right? So we have to make sure they are not same. So while accepting the third input, we can check that if it's not same, right? So if b is equal to c, then we can change it. Now we'll change c equal to x. Now that way both b and c won't be same. So now let's move on. We'll again accept the last pair of x and y. Not that we need anything to do with it, but we have to accept it, right? Because the system will give it to us. Now we can calculate our answer. Now C out absolute value of b minus c into absolute value of b minus c. Now that should basically be it. Enter. And yeah, let's run the code and see what happens. Okay, they're saying I submit the same code. Let's go back and let's see again. And there you go. That's how you solve this problem. If you have any doubts, do leave them in the comment section down below. And that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.